All right, guys, going to show you the solution to get your X300B onto an X macro or frame. So we have a special key here. That's the key that you're needing to buy. What we're going to go ahead and do is take the existing key out. This just has the universal key in it right now. I'm going to pop that guy out. And we don't need this for the X macro. So let's go ahead, and the next thing we're going to do is take off the battery cover. Push that there. And boom. And then I'm just going to pop that off. It's got some hooks right there. They just kind of hook in, hook off. Set that aside. And you've got this silver pin here. You're going to take it from the right side and you're going to take a punch and push it out. This one has been pushed out a few times, so it's a little bit easier right now. If you need to get yourself a flat surface and a mallet, go ahead and do that and punch that pin out. You want to be careful not to bend the pin. Pull that pin out, and what you're going to do is take the key here and line it up right in there. This is the X300B X macro key, and that's going to line up in there. You're just going to kind of hold it, and then you're going to put that pin back, and you're going to want to put the pin back the way you took it out, which is from the left, pushing it through, and make sure that, let's see here, there's a side of the pin that has a flattened side. That's what keeps the pin from falling out. So don't try to push that in first. You'll screw shit up. Put in the rounded side, not the pinched side first. So rounded side first. Let it go through the hole of the new key. Boom, 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 like that. And just push it back in. And this is where you'll need another flat surface. I'm gonna have to push it down here. And if you have the right punch, this is not the right punch. I guess it is. You can kind of tap that flat surface back in. Take the back of it or a bigger punch until that's flat and that's on there. It's in there, it's good. No key goes back in it. And now this can freely rotate if you want, but it's down in there, it's safe. What the keys do for lights is once they go in the slot of the gun, they keep it from moving forward or backwards. And that's what that's gonna do. Go ahead and put your cover back on, and that's gonna be like this. Oops, shoot, doing it backwards, guys. You're gonna be like that, and you're gonna just kind of like hook it back in. Hook it back in like that. You can close her up, and then let's go ahead and mount it. We're gonna mount it here on a Legion. Super close. Sorry, can't see the camera what I'm recording. I might have to do this a couple more times, but we're tightening it down, and I do recommend you tighten this down. I recommend that you tighten this down to factory specs, because again, the key is only holding it from going forward and backwards, but you want to tighten that down to what the specifications say. So there is your X300 light on your shoot, I forgot the name, P365. This is a Legion frame. Let's go ahead and throw it on a couple more frames here. This is the AXG frame or the Legion frame. Same thing here. This one's just been Cerakoted. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw it also on the fuse, which is kind of a little bit better, longer slide, so it covers it a little more. And with that, we're gonna show you the optional fuse dust cover. All right, so you got the key in there and you opted for the optional fuse dust cover. We're gonna go ahead and show you that. Easiest way to do this is to back this screw out all the way. So go ahead, and at the last few threads here, it's gonna want to kind of rotate and bind. If you just back it off slow, it should be able to just come out. Come off. I'm gonna set that aside. We're gonna take some kind of punch, or in this case, I'm using a pick, and I'm taking out this retaining clip right there. So you can kind of get a little punch in there, boom, pull that out. It's a little magnetic sometimes, and you can just set it down so you don't lose it. That allows you to take the screw all the way out. And we're gonna grab our fuse dust cover. I'm gonna show you this. You're gonna kind of, from top down, you're gonna kind of put it in kind of at an angle, but you're gonna kind of push that way and that way at the same time. So I'm gonna show you here at the angle. I'm gonna try to get it flat. The bottom, it's at that angle, and we're trying to get everything lined up to go around this kind of faux 1913 rail. So we've got it in here like that, slightly angled. We're gonna push forward and down. So forward, down, and that way. So here we go. There you go, it kind of clips on, clicks in a little bit, and it should just hold itself on there. One thing you wanna note is if this line right here is not straight with the aluminum body of the light, then it needs to go forward a little more. It's a tight fit on purpose, so it's not gonna be moving around. But if that's not quite lined up, you can go ahead and take a punch like this and just punch that angle and just kind of tap it until you get that continuous line from the dust cover all the way to the aluminum frame. So if that is the case, you can go ahead and start putting it back together. I've got the clip here. I find it easier to use your fingers on the clip because if it's magnetic, it doesn't want to come off of the magnetic piece. So line it all up right there and just push it down with a punch or a flathead or whatever you can get in there. Boom. So that's back in, not coming out. Then we're gonna go ahead and put this back in. Again, everything is gonna kind of be a little bit angled when you're doing this. And the main thing on putting this back is you don't want to strip the threads. You don't want the angle like that. You don't want to start turning it at that point. You want it to be, all of it's gonna be kind of slightly angled. And then you're going to just let the threads, and again, make sure you're not stripping it. Just let the threads, let it pull itself back into its place. And there we are. So once that's done, you are now ready to run it on a fuse, or you could even run it on like a comp. I'm just doing this so you can show the difference with it's got an FDE frame. But what you're gonna do is, it's a tight fit. So watch this. That key is gonna sit in that back slot, and it's gonna kind of rock in and click like that. Looks a lot better on a black frame, but you can run it on a fuse or something if you've got a comp on it, just to kind of fill that dust cover. So boom, tighten it down to spec, and there we are. Again, we'll show you this real quick on a black frame, just so it doesn't look so stark contrast. So here we are on a black frame, same thing. This is just a macro. Again, if you have a comp or a can, boom. Here we are, we're gonna tighten this down. We're gonna put the fuse slide on here just to show you that. So we're gonna tighten that down to spec. And we're gonna go ahead and throw a longer fuse slide on here, show you what it looks like. So here we are, putting it all back together. This light is not the greatest, sorry guys. And then there we are. That's what we're looking at. Whoop, whoop. And that is our fuse dust cover with the X300B key. All right guys, boom.